Have you ever wondered what it's like to be a pristine leader of a country and have everybody love you? Well, if that is you, you came to the right place. In this video, I'll be taking you down a path to acquiring the success of becoming a president of your own country. But be wary, this is no easy path you want to take. There will be trials and tribulations along the way, but I can assure you it will be worthwhile. To put it simply, we'll break it down into 3 main issues you're gonna face when you're first starting out. Those would be branding, landmass, diplomats. Sounds scary at the first thought of it, but trust me on this, I'll simplify it for you. To start things out, we have branding. This basically means you're going to have to think of your country's name and flag for it. To make it easier, I'll illustrate something I thought of on my own so you can get a better idea. We're gonna have to get creative, so what we're going to do is pick a first random word on the top of my head. Right now, solar panels cross my mind. Why, you might be wondering? I have no idea. You can add these suffixes just to make it sound cool. After a bunch of jumbling up, we get this. That's a pretty good name if I say so myself. Now that we have our name, we gotta draw a flag for the name we just thought of. Now, this doesn't mean you can just add a few squiggly lines and call it a flag. No! If you thought of that, fuck you! Matter of fact, we're gonna take this a step further. We're gonna put a big ass galaxy with the sun in the middle, just so we can display our sense of superiority. Apologies for the lack of decency. Well, okay, there are a few rules that we have to follow to actually make it recognizable, but either way, moving on. To actually construct a decent looking and a relatively meaningful flag that complies with the fictional country name we just thought of, we have to make it somewhat related to it. Since our country name, Solarius, which stands for Sun Kingdom, obviously we're going to add a little sun in the middle just so it's the center of attention. Or if you want to get a tiny bit creative, add a solar panel to it. Just, add a few stripes to it, give it a bit of straightening the lines and add a background color, and that's it. We finished our branding. Now that we covered that, we get to possibly the hardest part of the process. Landmass. If you've ever taken a look at a globe in your entire life, you would surely recognize all the countries have their own landmasses. And you can't just casually pick a certain part of a land and call it your own country. Because, spoiler alert, you'll have tanks at your doorstep. So again, we'll have to get creative. If only there was a country that I could spend money on to actually buy its land. Oh wow, that was quick. In the country of Liechtenstein, you can apparently rent out the space for a hefty amount of money. But we're gonna pretend that is in this case a scenario. Alright, with that done, we have our branding and landmass for our country. The last part is getting your diplomats in order, or the people that will help your country. These people are responsible for setting up many institutions, hospitals, schools, you name them. Where do you find them exactly? Well, there are a few ways. Considering you have a brand new country, you aren't gonna have many diplomats, or residents to even begin with. For residents, you can start by simply inviting your family members or your friends, since they're clearly down for that idea. No taxes and free healthcare? Sounds pretty good if you ask me. Once you get the needed connections, you can invite over your diplomat friends. After you bribe them to betray their homeland and join your nation, you'd be ready to sit in. So, build some skyscrapers, help your people, give rise to cool venues and anything you find interesting. After all, that's how you run a country. Or not, I don't know, do what you want. It's yours after all. If you genuinely enjoyed the video, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. Have a good one.